Welcome to the Man Cave Podcast with Dan Casper.
Switching gears, we're going to talk all things Badgers right now with our dude, Mr. R.J. Cardinal. All right, R.J., a few days removed. How you feeling now that this Badger football season is officially in the books? Relieved?
Yeah, I guess so. Don't have to live through any more week-to-week insecurities, I guess, until we see what kind of roster they put together for next year.
So I got to go back to that Minnesota game. What were your thoughts on how they handled the quarterback situation in that game?
I really feel like it needed to be done. Up until the 68-yard pass, nothing was happening. Mm-hmm. The defense, Minnesota's defense wasn't respecting the passing game at all, and rightfully so. Badgers weren't even trying to stretch the field. So when that came about, I wasn't upset about it. I know a lot of people said you forgot what got you to where you are right now. I mean, granted, it was 2 wins, but it seemed like it needed to be done. And outside of the 2 interceptions where Simmons basically stared down the receiver, and I mean, you had to have seen the defender there. Those were just inexplicable. But still finished with 162 passing yards. The offense started moving the ball better when he got in there. Then, I mean, they basically were doing a between the 20s and inside the 20s kind of quarterbacking. Because, I mean, Hunter Simmons came in when they got down to the 5 right before halftime and took the ball in for a touch. Really more suited his game. Mm-hmm. Short intermediate passes and the ground game. So inside the 5 for that touchdown with the nice toe tap 2 feet in. I mean, if people want to complain and say he stepped out of bounds and was the first one to touch it, maybe turn your heated field on so you don't have to worry about snow and white lines.
Yeah.
Just a thought. But I think they knew they couldn't turn on their field because I think that would have helped Wisconsin's defense a little too much. Even though went back and rewatched a good portion of the game, and the egregious holding going on by Minnesota's offensive line and tight ends, where, I mean, a lot of the Wisconsin defenders were in bear hugs or tackled, and not a lot of it called. Actually, none of it. I think there was 1 call on Minnesota all day. I mean, not a lot of flags in general, but who knows if Wisconsin would have won had they been allowed to play defense and not hindered. But that's a tale for a different time. Really, you can go look at the offense, and once again, the futility popped its ugly head out and really put Wisconsin's defense against it when it came to being on the field for a good portion of the time. And so it's just the microcosm of the entire season wrapped in 1 game.
Yeah, no kidding. So let me ask you this, kind of a 2-parter. 1, do they have their 2026 quarterback on the roster right now? And second, I've seen some people kind of throw this out there, and it's still weird for me to say this, but the phrase is, well, if they can pay for a quarterback, if the Badgers can pay for a quarterback in a transfer portal, this is a good team next year. Do you buy that narrative?
No. I don't think the quarterback is on this roster. I don't think the offense is a quarterback away. I mean, we've had probably the worst offensive line we've had in a long time. Can't get a push, can't get 2 yards beyond the line of scrimmage, undisciplined. Like, there's a lot that needs to be done on the offensive side of the ball to get things rolling. And quarterback, for whatever it's worth, is probably an important one, but you have to keep the receivers around. You have to keep your running backs around. You have to find an O-line and get a quarterback. Then still pay for replacing a D-line that was good this year, keeping your linebacking core intact. There's a lot of things that need to happen. So that the new investment into the team better be a lot of money because it's a team that's going to look completely different otherwise. And I think at least offensively, I think we'd be okay with that. Defensively, you want most of those guys to return.
Yeah. I know yesterday one of the biggest news I saw out there for Badger football is that they were able to flip a 2026 wide receiver that was originally committed to Vanderbilt. But I guess kind of to piggyback off the quarterback's talk, how excited should we be about a wide receiver coming to Wisconsin if they don't have the quarterback on the roster?
Right. I mean, I guess it's good since we lost Pettit to Oklahoma, but so you're replacing him, which is good. But yeah, I mean, need to see who's going to be getting him the football first. And I mean, if it stays status quo, we're going to become an option team next year. And why would a receiver really want to be here? So I think there needs to be, well, at least internally, your offensive coordinator is going to have to sell like crazy to keep wide receivers or get wide receivers here. Because right now, like you said, there's no real reason to be optimistic about a receiver who won't be catching passes. He'll be blocking and really, for 5-yard gains. But yeah, it's one where right now, even in this day and age, it's hard to get excited for anything until somebody's name's on the dotted line and then, they stay for more than a year.
Right. Exactly. That's the other part of me is like, okay, it's cool, but I'm still nervous. He might not even be there, or he's going to leave, or he's not going to play, and then he's going to leave. It's really hard for, I guess, me to get excited about recruits this day and age because I just don't know how long they're going to be there for.
Yeah, and if somebody has a breakout year, and even if they don't enter the portal, we'd be stupid to think people's agents, if they have one, aren't talking to other schools saying, hey, look what this kid did this year, and he could be a talent on a roster going for a championship rather than wasting away at Wisconsin or, insert school here. So, I mean, even when a guy has a good year, you have to be worried about, is he going to be here next year? And it's not just, hey, we aren't playing somebody. What if they go somewhere next year for playing time, or they're not happy here because they aren't playing, even though they think they're better than whoever's in front of them? And it just becomes something where, it's where college athletics as a whole are, where it's really an unknown now, and it's hard to get behind a team when you don't know the names and faces.
Right. Exactly. So I know it's an early look to next year and such, but for Badger football, it is on paper right now, it looks like an easier schedule, and I know the expectation is at least a bowl game, I think, for a lot of people, but is it more than just a bowl game? Is it like a winning record, like not 6-6, but at least 7-5 and go into a bowl game?
I hope so.
Yeah.
'Cause I mean, you look at it, 7 of your conference games, 7 of the 9 are against teams that were 6 are versus teams that are 500 or worse. 1 is Minnesota, who went 7-5, and then the other 2, USC and Penn State. Nope, Penn State's in that below 5. What am I missing here? Oh well. But like 7 of the schools are games the other one's Iowa. So USC and Iowa are on there. Those are your hard conference games. The rest are teams that are going to have new coaches, teams that aren't that much better than you. So it's a schedule that out of the conference games, judging by what you see this year, you can't go jotting down wins and losses, but on paper, looking at the names throughout the whole schedule, there should be 8 wins. Western Illinois, the 7 teams on your schedule for conference that you should be beating, and then your USC, Iowa. Right now, we're miles away from them. I'll chalk those up as losses. I'll chalk Notre Dame up as a loss, and even watching Pitt play, they looked more competent than us. So there's your 4 losses. You should be with this schedule next year, you should be able to comfortably make a bowl game. And depending on when the Iowa and USC games fall, hopefully by October, you already have, by the end of October, you already have your 6 wins, and you're looking for, to better yourself in bowl competition.
Mm-hmm. All right, switching over a little bit to hoops, Badger basketball. So they picked up a win against Providence, but then they fell to TCU. Badgers are out of the top 25 rankings in their early goings here. And I know some people were kind of freaking out about the TCU game. Now, TCU, if we did a top 30, they would have been in the top 30 in the country. So, they're not a bad team at all. But from what you watched in that TCU game, does it concern you at all a little bit? Just 26 points in the second half, or are you just like, hey, that's a solid team? Let's pick up and get ready for Northwestern coming up tomorrow.
Yeah, I think TCU is a pretty good team. Did they get kind of out-muscled? Yeah. That was a little worrying because once you get into the Big Ten, we'll need Greg Gard to call people out again for being too soft.
Yeah.
It worked in the past, and we saw some guys' mentalities change after a public calling out. But when you're going up against a team who was shooting almost 60% from 3 and almost 50 in field goal percentage, and you're almost pushing 35% from the field and 25 from 3, things aren't going to go well.
Yeah.
So I think the only stat we beat TCU in was getting to the free throw line. And, that kept it respectable, I guess. But it was a game that was the antithesis of what we saw from the Providence game. But, TCU, they played close to Michigan. So, they're a decent team. Their other loss, I was looking it up, against New Orleans. So that's a little odd. But since then, they've been playing pretty darn good. Upset the number 10 team in the country in Florida the night before. So, they were riding high and took that into game 2. And they can play different styles of games too. So I think that's a good team we lost to. And I think it's kind of lucky it wasn't worse than
right.
the 11 points.
Right. They got Northwestern, then they got the Marquette game, which Marquette, they got a game tonight, but Marquette's only a 500 team so far to begin with this year too. So just, you being a Badger alum, I know this kind of gets brought up every year when we get to this game. Is this more of a rivalry from the Marquette side of things than it is from the Badger side of things? Or is there a little bit of, Badger alums, Badger fans have a little something against Marquette too?
I didn't grow up in a time where Marquette was good and won their one national championship.
Mm-hmm.
And talking to people like my parents' age and things like that, there was more of a hatred for Marquette back in the day,
Right.
where, I mean, it really was more of a rivalry. I honestly think about Marquette on Saturday. I even had somebody yesterday being like, well, are you pumped for the Marquette game? I go, oh, yeah, that's in a couple weeks. It's this Saturday. Oh, yeah, sure. Even when they are good. Like, I honestly don't think about Marquette. And, I mean, Marquette they have hate week this week. And that's cool. Like, I've had Marquette fans come up to me and like be like, "Oh, it's Wisconsin week." I'm like, "Okay, like, cool, bud."
It's like you got bigger fish to fry.
Yeah, I mean, I could rub 1941 in your face just as well as you rub 1977 in my face. Like, but somehow theirs counts and Wisconsin's doesn't because there was only 4 teams in the NCAA tournament at the time, and everybody knows in 1941 the NIT was the best tournament. I was like, sure, whatever we want to tell ourselves to discredit us, great. But it's for me at least, it's just another week because outside of basketball, we have more than one nationally known sport at Wisconsin.
Yeah. Well, hey, one of those sports is volleyball, which they're going to begin their national tournament run. So they get a 3 seed, but they get to host a couple rounds. And I was looking at it through the bracket. They potentially would have to go up against Stanford, and then if they get through it, I mean, you're talking about a rematch against Texas here too. So, not to overlook the first couple rounds here, but if Wisconsin is able to get back to the national championship, it looks like from this bracket, RJ, they will definitely have earned that right to play the national championship if they can get through it.
Yeah, and I mean the way they're playing right now, it's at least given themselves a chance. They've looked good against pretty much everybody since getting swept by Nebraska. When was that? End of October.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, they've dropped 2 sets since then, but I mean, it's what we've come to expect from Wisconsin, and yeah, it'll be a tough road. So it'll be a fun watch. I know that. Like, I mean, it's not like they're getting led to slaughter. So that's a plus. They've really, in the last few years, it seems like, kind of like we talk about Wisconsin women's hockey. It's assumed they'll get here, and then everybody tunes in to see what happens.
Right, exactly. So that starts a couple days from now too, and they host the first couple rounds, right? In Madison.
Yep.
Or at the Fieldhouse.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of if it's the first rounds or well, yeah. I guess it's just the first two.
First
games?
2 games.
Is it like just this weekend? So however many sessions that is, I guess,
Gotcha.
is what they're hosting. I think it's just this weekend.
Okay.
But yeah, it's good to have. You don't have to travel, so that's a plus.
Right. Exactly. So. And then to switch over, we've got men's hockey. Let's switch over to Badger men's hockey because they had kind of the off week here, but now you're getting set for a series going up against Notre Dame this weekend. How big of a series is this for Badger hockey coming off that huge sweep against Michigan State?
Yeah, you had a week off there. You were the top team in tied because Michigan has one more point than you because the win on Saturday against Michigan State was an overtime, so you didn't get the full point there. But your games-wise, tied for the top of the conference, going up against Notre Dame this weekend at Notre Dame, currently 0-6 in the conference, 4-9-1 overall. This is one, like, in years past, we've always said you got to work to try to get a split on the road. You do want to do that still, but I mean, this is one, if you can, pour it on them and get out of there with a victory. And then I think after that, you're getting ready for the Holiday Classic in Milwaukee, maybe. I think so. It goes. Hold on, let me check this out. Yep. Then you go to the Holiday Face-Off, and that's not until the end of December. So you get a few more weeks off after this series. So put it all out there. Get your rest for 2 weeks, and then play Lake Superior State, and then the winner of Western Michigan Boston College. Should say hopefully winner. But yeah, so good month of December here. They're not home until middle of January, I want to say.
Okay.
Or something like that, because then, not until Alaska Anchorage comes to town, and I'm blanking on when that series is. But I think even after the face-off, they have like another week off before that series against Alaska Anchorage. So, looking forward to hockey to end the year out here, and hopefully you pick up 4 wins in the month of December and keep staying at number 2 in the country.
And, on the flip side here, you've got the women's team that's going to be hitting the road. We know they're number 1 in the country, but they're going to be going up against number 2, Ohio State, who also got some first-place votes. So, I mean, that's another big-time series coming up this weekend.
Yeah, when you're ending up going and, giving up some goals and looking a little more vulnerable at times, you give people the opportunity to cast votes for Ohio State. But yeah, it'll be a big one here. I don't know who Stonehill is, but I mean, they beat them 17-2 over the weekend. I mean, it was really I have no clue who Stonehill is. Hopefully they're a new program, and that, because if that's the case, wow, that's pretty crazy. But like you said, on the road in Columbus this weekend, and hopefully that's one we can rightfully say, even as a top 2 matchup, steal one, get out of there with a split. No real damage done there if that happens. But yeah, it'll be a good one. It's the last 2 or 3 national championships have been between those 2 teams. So it should be a good series. I wonder if that's on TV. If it's not, somebody's doing a disservice.
Right. Yeah.
It is not. So,
wow.
Yep, there you go. Just the Big Ten, even though that's the WCHA, just the Big Ten, really not knowing how to promote any sports outside of football and basketball. So good on them for not showing anything, and really, depending on what kind of brand you want to call certain sports and schools and things like that, Big Ten, once again, dropping the ball, not letting people see good athletic competition.
I agree, man. I agree. Hey, before I let you go now, give me the Big Ten championship pick, Ohio State, Indiana. Who you rolling with this weekend?
Ooh, yeah. I mean, just based off of solely Wisconsin head-to-head matchups, I gotta say probably Ohio State.
Yeah.
And it could be one where we see what Indiana did last year versus Ohio State, and even though they were down, running the ball, taking time off the clock, to not have the loss look worse than it could have been by trying to score and giving the ball back to Ohio State, keeping them off the field will probably be their game plan. And they do have better offense this year, but still, I think it's going to be Ohio State. Maybe like a 2-score game, probably like 38-28, something like that. only because I think Indiana has the capability to score on them, even though that Ohio State defense pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no kidding.
But yeah, it'll be Ohio State. Ohio State will be your number one team. Indiana will probably drop a little bit because they won't be the number 2 team in the nation anymore. I have a lot of fun reading the SEC boards of being like, has anybody seen a worse conference championship 1 and 2 matchup ever?
Oh,
yeah, I
geez.
have. Most of it's been the SEC championships over the years because your refs made it happen. But other than that, yeah, it's one where I think the Big Ten is stronger than a lot of people think. Because if you look at Ole Miss, I mean that's a hell of a situation going on there right now. But I mean, not a lot of their wins are against big time name programs in there. Same with Texas A&M. They've beaten up on everybody. It's probably a worse schedule than anybody in the Big Ten has. I've seen people try to say that some of the SEC teams have the hardest schedule in the country when, I think we've seen it, and it's been proven. It was Wisconsin this year. But, whatever. It's one where the SEC is really hurting this year in terms of trying to justify why they need half of the college football playoff teams. But, that's what they do year in, year out anyway.
Right, exactly. All right, he's RJ Cardinal, our Badger analyst from Madison. Good stuff as always, buddy. Hey, appreciate the time. Enjoy the rest of the week, and we'll catch up with you next week. Okay, sir?
Sounds good. We will talk to you then.